This is a short video on the results TransWorld is getting for the two different services for our medical clients. This is a neuroscience clinic in Arizona that's a client of mine, and we have an interface with eClinicalWorks, so they do have an interface with TransWorld. This interface not only can automate the process of submitting accounts based on parameters they set, they can still do manual, but it also automates the payments on the back end. So there's very little to no work done by the staff as far as submitting accounts and reporting payments to TransWorld. This client's paying us $9 per account. I think they have over 15 providers, nurse practitioners, and PAs there. It's a big volume client. $246 is their average balance. So again, these are small balances. Most percentage agencies, they're going to call these once or twice, try to get a quick collection, and they're going to work the cardiac doctor really hard because of the larger balances, and these are going to get kind of swept to the side. Because of our automation with our program, we're going to work them all equally the same. So these 15,000 accounts that have been submitted into Accelerator is a first-party tool. So this portion of the service is 5 contacts from this neuroscience clinic in Arizona to this $3.8 million within a 30-day window. So it augments their internal efforts, if you will. Out of that $3.8 million, they've been able to recover in the form of paid in full, arrangements made, patients calling, doing whatever they need to do. 2.1 of 3.8 responded, which is 55% of the money, and 70% of the accounts that did something after 90 days. So they have the parameters set at, I think, 90 to 120 with the interface with ECW. Their cost, based on the $9 fee at the top, is $139,000 over the past 5 years to get back $2.1 million. Remember that $2.1 million paid these clients, our clients directly. We never saw one red penny of that $2.1 million. It paid them directly. They go into ECW and report it. Automatically updates TransWorld with the either partial payment or paid in full. If we were charging this client a percentage, it would be 6.6%, which we're not. They're paying us the flat fee. But for comparison reasons, if you were to compare that to an agency that only charged them 33%, if that agency collected what we did, they would have charged this client $703,000 to do what we did for $139,000, and this $2 million would have gone to the agency first before the client ever saw one red penny of that money. That's an ROI of $15.15 to 1. So at this stage, that client then submits them into the second stage of the service, which can be set up automated as well or manual, depending on the client. And these are accounts that are going into the profit recovery stage of TransWorld, which is 5 contacts from TransWorld. So it's pre-collection, soft collection, diplomatic use of a controlled third party to control cost, if you will, that diplomatically gets the third party impact involved without ever taking a phone call from a collector. Out of the 1.2 million submitted into this stage, and these are now 5-6 months old on average, 265,000 has paid them directly, which is 22% of the money, 30% of the accounts. That's still double the national average on secondary assignment, if you will, because the easy ones we got on the first stage. They've invested $37,251 to get back $265,000, which, again, if we were charging them a percentage, would be 14%, as compared to $88,000 for an agency that charged them 33% if they collected 30% of the accounts, which they're not going to. That's an ROI of $7.12 to 1. The last one I'll show you is a sleep center client of mine in Texas and New Mexico that has submitted 1,900 accounts total. So this middle column right here shows the total, the aggregate number that they've submitted. But when I met with the doctor and the administrator last year on the renewal, they wanted to see what have we done for them lately, if you will. So the doctor said, well, what have you done since the last renewal? What's been submitted and what's happened? So we did a date range report from the last renewal to the end of the year, because his systems only last him a year, even though they're predicated on 2 years. He had submitted 529 accounts in 2017. The cost per account, $10.67 per account. $265 is the average balance. Now they started submitting smaller balances, which is, key to the recovery going up, I think, but also the ROI dropping a little bit. Out of 140,000 that was submitted in 2017, even though 614 was aggregate, $67,000 paid them just in 2017 out of that $276,000 aggregate. Their recovery rate went up 4% to 48%, and their ROI dropped a little bit to 1144 from 1327, but that's because the doctor wanted to start submitting balances less than $100. So they were submitting 30, actually even lower than 50. I think they set it at $35. So the recovery will go up if you're submitting smaller balances. We're effective on smaller balances, but as you can see, the ROI is still very impressive for these medical clients. And Transworld does have over 20,000 medical clients nationally. We have interfaces with Athena, ECW, NextGen, MicroMD, Centricity, Greenway, and many others. So if you're interested in seeing how we do this for our clients, please contact the rep that sent you this video. Have a great day.